Inravio.com.
Hello again, everybody. This is Joe Larson, and you're watching the 505 on Racing Show, live at Inravio.com. Welcome. It's very chilly here on Long Island. It's very cold. We have a live guest who is in Studio A now, preparing. He'll be come on at 7:15 when we come back from break, and I'm sure he hit that wonderful Long Island traffic coming down. Roger Oxy will be in us. He'll be here, and I'm sure he'll be telling us about his trip here. All the way from upstate New York, Carmel, New York is up by Fishkill. It's a trip. In fact, I got a blowout there Labor Day weekend, coming back after visiting some friends, and I had to go to the local store, trying to find a place to get a tire on Labor Day was like almost impossible, but thank God for Walmart. But anyway, welcome. It's all good. Hey, the end of an era, a 100-year racing era, came to an end on January 9th when the New York State Fairground grandstand was demolished. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo was present as he helped push the plunger to implode the 17,500-seat capacity grandstands. New York State has a $50 million renovation plan at the fairgrounds, and the grandstand area will be replaced by an RV park. Another track gone. See, nobody's building new ones. They're tearing them down, and that's something that needs to be addressed. So it's kind of, and they're not good. Not good. To destroy another racetrack like that for an RV park. Now, look, I know RV people need to have their thing too, but here's a racetrack that's been in existence for over 100 years. Starting with horse racing, the old midgets back in the day and dirt cars, and it's gone. So another one gone. Anyway, what else? According to a published report in the area auto racing news, written by Lenny Salmons, he reports that the Cold War between Brett Deyo from the short track super series known as the STSS and Joe Skotnicki and the ROC Racer Champions have agreed to co-sanction an event at Rolling Wheels Raceway Park in upstate New York on July 13th. And that's a good move, because this is what happens. And I said this years ago, when you have two sanctions running against each other, people have to decide where they want to, they're going to pick and choose. So instead of one body having a bunch of cars, you have two bodies that don't have a lot of cars. So they've agreed to join forces for this big event on July 13th, and that's just a stepping stone. Joe Skotnicki, I know Joe Skotnicki personally, a good guy. He was the competition director at NASCAR back 10 years or so ago, and moved on from NASCAR, did a bunch of other things, and now he's the director for the ROC. He actually bought the rights to it. So I wish them well in that endeavor, and I hope that leads to many more joint ventures with the two sanctioned bodies, so that the car counts will be better, the racing will be real good, and it's a win-win for everybody instead of trying to go against each other. So that's always good. That is always good. So anyway, the Tri-Track Series schedule has been released. There'll be 5 events, 3 of which will pay a minimum of $10,000 to win, with purses exceeding $50,000. Monadnock in New Hampshire will be run on June 11th, Seekonk in Massachusetts on June 29th, Star Speedway up in New Hampshire on July 30th, and the New London Waterford Speed Bowl will have 2 events on August 25th and October 23rd. So that's good news. That's a good series and draws a lot of people. There's a $450 entry fee from what I understand, but that money covers a whole assortment of things, and it goes into point funds. It just pays for a lot of things. And some people say, wow, that's a lot of money. Well, if you go to a NASCAR touring race, you're spending more than that between entry fees and inspection fees and what the licenses cost. So I think that's a good opportunity for people who don't want to run with the NASCAR Modified Tour and want to run that series. So that's a good thing. Richard Petty Motorsports. Some news coming out of there. May return to its traditional number 44 this season with driver Brian Scott. Richard Petty Motorsports number 9 will be rebranded with the 44 on the doors. This frees up the number 9 car, which was driven by Bill Elliott, Awesome Bill from Dawsonville, as he was known for many years. With Chase Elliott, his son, now at Hendrick Motorsports, don't be surprised to see a number 9 back on the track with an Elliott in a race car. A lot of these backroom deals going on, and, the 44 was driven by Kyle Petty, and now the 44 will be back at Petty Motorsports. And then Kyle Busch Motorsports recently announced Kevin Bono Mannion will come on board for the 2016 Camping World Truck Series. With the Mannion will be a crew chief for trucks co-driven by Daniel Suarez and Cody Coughlin. So he also would field a car for in the Modified Tour. With now I'm drawing a blank on it. I should have made a note. I'll think of it in a little bit. But I knew him from the Modified series, and he's a good guy. He did run into some issues with his motor, or not his motor, but the motor he was crew chief for, and got slapped on the hand by NASCAR. But that was all behind him. He's a good guy and knows his stuff. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that team goes. And with the co-drivers in the truck series, Daniel Suarez and Cody Coughlin, because of their obligations to other things, that's why they both share the opportunity. And the driver, the Bono was crew chief, was Ryan Newman. Why did that just not work? But anyway, it's all good. It's all good. And what else we got going on? AJ Foyt turned 81 on this past Saturday. AJ Foyt, I met AJ Foyt for the first time in 1998 at the Daytona International Speedway down in Florida, the night after he was named one of the top 50 drivers of all time. I actually sat in the Goodyear garage with AJ Foyt and Junior Johnson having a conversation about racing back then as compared to now and what the difference was. And I'll tell you what, AJ was very outspoken and very energetic in this whole conversation, and there was Junior Johnson, just hands in his coat pocket, and very slow and deliberate. And to watch these two guys have a conversation with me was comical. I have a picture of that hanging up in my living room of that day, and 81 years old, man, oh man. AJ Foyt, he is the only driver to win the Indy 500, the Daytona 500, the 24 hours of Daytona, the 24 hours of Le Mans, as well as the 12 hours of Sebring. That's an accomplishment. The man drove everything, and he was a racer. Started at grassroots and made his way up, and to win the Indy 500, he won that 4 times, 35 consecutive starts. 81, God bless him. Rico Abreu won the 2016 Chili Bowl, only the second driver to win back-to-back Chili Bowls in its 30-year history. Ricky, a former USAC National Midget Champion, will join the Thor Sports Racing as a full-time NASCAR Camping World Truck Series driver in 2016, driving the number 98 car. Interesting, him. After a win at the Chili Bowl that was announced, speaking of the Chili Bowl, as Rico Abreu was the winner, Brian Clausen was second, Zach Dorm was third, Jerry Coons Jr. was fourth, and Kyle Larson rounded out the top 5. So that was the Chili Bowl. What else? Speaking of the Chili Bowl, might as well go right into that. Tony Stewart was involved in an incident at the Chili Bowl. However, it was off track, as Stewart had an altercation with a drunken fan in the grandstands. The fan was heckling him and unruly He actually, when Stewart went into the grandstands, the fan shoved Tony Stewart, and then the fan was overtaken by other fans and made to sit down. Sometimes you have to pick who you get involved with in altercations because this guy, this fan, is a member of the Tulsa County Sheriff's Office. However, an investigation is underway as to what's going to happen. And you know what? You know, when you're in a professional sport and you're being watched by fans, and fans sometimes have a little bit too much medicine, so to speak, and drink, they get unruly, they say stuff. But you know what? As a professional, you need to just walk away and ignore that stuff. I stuck up for Tony with that other incident because that was just a racing deal, but he had no business going into the stands and going after this guy. He just had no business, in my opinion. And I'm not saying this guy was right for what he did. You could see if you watch any of the videos that the guy was definitely intoxicated. But you know what? The guy is a sheriff. Whose side they going to take on this thing? You know, what are they going to throw charges out? He assaulted a police officer. It's not going to be good for Tony Stewart with this one. It's just not. And I could see this not going well. Anyway, we're going to take a break a little bit earlier than normal. We'll get our guest, and he's done eating his lobster tails and sipping on the wine. And when we come back, we'll have live in Studio B the winningest late model driver at Riverhead Raceway. And the oldest late model driver at Riverhead Raceway when we come back.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE, your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Mark Well. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you're gonna punch in the But if you have this bracelet from Inravio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Hey, we're back. We're back. As you can see live in the studio, Roger Oxley, welcome.
Thank you.
How was your trip down?
Lousy.
You know, about 2 minutes before the show, I go outside and I'm like, "Are you en route?" And he was maybe a couple miles up the road. So
Yeah, sitting at a traffic light for,
Oh, that traffic light
your
is
lights
horrible.
are screwed up.
Yeah, yeah. How long did it take you?
Not bad getting to that traffic light.
Oh, yeah.
It's 100 and something miles. It's no big deal.
Okay, it's all good.
Yeah,
So,
it's practice.
yeah.
Passing cars, it's like, you know, get ready for
Get
Saturday
in the
night.
draft,
Yeah.
go by. So how's your winter going?
Cold now.
No.
Getting the car ready.
All right. I saw some pictures. So
Yep.
powder coated, ready to be put
No,
back
it's
there.
not powder coated. It got unpowder coated.
Unpowder coated. What's the difference? Tell these people what the difference is.
Damned if I know.
You just know you got a bill for it.
No, it's fine. I wanted the car to look good. It hadn't been, chassis hadn't been repainted since we got the car. So it was time. Plus, I will be wanting to sell the car at the end of the year. And I want it looking as good as it can.
Well, tell us about that selling the car thing. What's going on for Roger Roxy in 2016 and beyond?
My last year. I'm done after this year, win, lose, or draw. I could win the championship in every single race, and I'll still walk away at the end of
Walk
the year.
away. Is it you had enough or it's just time?
I haven't had enough, but my body has. Physically, I can't, you know, I can drive the car. At least some people think I can drive the car. I can still drive the car, but it's the preparation. It takes a lot of time, a lot more aches and pains. My crew is a lot older. I'm a lot older. And it's, I have a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old son. And this is my second time around for kids. My first 2 older kids, I wasn't there every single Saturday night forever. And they're 3 and 7, going to be 4 and 8. And I have put my wife through this enough that, you know, you can't plan on anything during the summer. You can't die during the summer. You can't go to a wedding during the summer. You can't do anything. You can't plan vacations.
Now, with
What's that for?
all the years
What's
that
this?
you've been...
What's he doing over there?
He's the producer.
He's making signals.
He's good.
That's good. I like the hat, too.
Yeah. I know it's involved with running a race car, and it takes a lot of time. And like you said, with your first set of kids, you missed a lot of stuff. And when that happens, you don't get those days back. You don't get the Little League games. You don't get any of that stuff back. When it's gone, it's gone. And I understand that. You know, it's a marriage, 2 young boys, you know.
My wife still doesn't believe I'm going to retire. Most people don't believe.
The
'cause
jury's out.
I've been retiring. See, I think I started retiring when I was like 39. No, nothing to do with the number, but I thought about it then, and years just went by quick, and all of a sudden I'm not 39 anymore, but it's still it's getting to be that time. I'm preparing for the season. I'm still going to go out there with the idea that I'm going to try to win every race. If I didn't have that idea, I don't belong out there.
Right.
So I'm getting ready, spending all the money, getting everything ready to be hopefully fast. Last year it took all season to get the car fast, and then we had stupid luck. Flat tires, clogged fuel line, stupid stuff.
Right.
Then they changed the rules at the end of the year. So yeah, I think we're in good shape.
With those rule changes, how does that affect you as a driver owner? How does that affect your team?
We'll see. I mean, we're going to be on different tires. We're going to be on narrower tires, so you're going to have less grip. And most of us who have big motors, we're going to have to detune those motors because otherwise we're going to be smoking the tires all the way down the straightaway and be loose the whole time. So it's going to be a learning experience. I know a few guys that went out there at the end of the season and practiced and tried some stuff. Like guys like, I think John Baker did pretty well. Let's see who else did pretty well. I think Jeremy McDermott did well. Again, they just trying stuff, and I think we'll be fine. But you know, it throws a monkey wrench into it for a lot of people, and the fact that they're talking about going to strictly crate motors after this season, it's a big expense just to put the motors that you've got so much invested off to the side someplace and are basically worthless. But yeah, they got to do what they got to do, and they're doing a nice number at the track too. So I'm looking forward to it.
I had the opportunity to go out there for that swap meet, and they had started, and a lot of stuff was in progress. You could tell how it was, and I saw some pictures that were posted in the social media, and I'll tell you what, it's turned into a nice looking facility.
Oh, Connie and Eddie are doing a nice number. They're doing it right. There's some things I wish they wouldn't have changed, and I don't mean big things, little things, but time marches on. You gotta go with the flow and make the changes. We'll see. Again, it's going to be a more fan-friendly place. Families, I mean, that's what they had to do. They got to put people in those seats.
That's right. And you know what? And it kind of goes hand in hand. You got cars in the pits, you got people in the seats, and vice versa. And that's what you need. You need that, because let's face it, it looked like it was in trouble over the last couple of seasons, the racetrack.
I don't know if it was in trouble. It depended on, I don't know. I don't think it was marketed. It wasn't marketed at all, except for, as much effort as Bob Finan could do.
Right.
But there was no real advertising done. I mean, you advertise in the racing papers to the people who already know about the place.
Right.
People would still go, where do you race? Riverhead. Didn't that track close 20 years ago?
I know. I had the pace car at my house back in 2002 because I had to use it for a function or something, and people were stopping me as I was outside, doing stuff in the yard, in the front yard. And they go, "Oh, is that for a museum? Here it is. It's a 2002, I believe, a Monte Carlo at the time." And people, "Is that for the museum for that track that closed?" And I'm like, "No, the track's not closed." And that was, I heard that everywhere I went, that the track was closed.
Oh, I think Riverhead will, looking at what they have scheduled, they should pack the people in.
Oh, without
and
a
I'll be
doubt.
surprised if they don't. I mean, they've got a family area planned. They've got a tiki hut.
Tiki hut.
Yeah, that's going to be good. That's going to be good. We'll be there after the races.
Hey, after, without a doubt.
Maybe before. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? No, now, again, with 2016 being your last season, obviously the goal is to win every race. And if you win every race, the championship comes with that. But there's a lot of stuff underlining that. What are some of the things that you're looking to do in 2016?
Oh, I'm going to try to win every single race I'm in. I'm going to race in all 14 scheduled races that are at Riverhead, and that includes the Granite State Series. I want to go to the Granite State Series again at Waterford in October, because I completed all of 18 laps. I had motor issues, plus my car was a bag.
Right.
So we learned a lot, and plus I want to go to Mountain/Evergreen. So I want to compete in at least 16 races before it's over.
All right. And, I didn't go to Riverhead often in 2015, but when I did,
They didn't allow you in.
they made me pay top dollar.
Oh, well.
They didn't want me. I wasn't welcomed.
I saw you there a couple of times.
A few times.
Yeah.
Hung out by you.
Yeah, you kept drinking my beer. I know.
And the other stuff.
Yeah.
In the mason jar.
Well, we don't talk about that.
But one of the things that's going to be sadly missed in 2016 is one of your biggest fans,
WJ.
WJ.
Yeah, I know. That happened so quick and was so sad. I mean, the guy was a big, strong guy, and all of a sudden he withered away to nothing, and he was gone.
Yeah.
And too many people are starting to, I'm getting at that age where people are disappearing now. It's not a fun thing, and I miss WJ now. I mean, he's still on my phone. He's still on my computer. It's not going to be the same.
You can't hit that delete button, you can't.
Well, he's in a better place.
Absolutely.
He's with the person he wanted to be with, so.
Yeah. I was there with him for the bitter end, and he was suffering. And it was that last night, he was agitated. He wanted to go home. He was trying to get out of the bed. He couldn't really talk. He could hardly move. And his daughter said to me, "Talk to him about racing." So I just went to the Turkey Derby, and he was there with his eyes shut. And I said, "Walt, I went to my first Turkey Derby ever." And he went, "Really?" And I said, Because I worked at UPS, and that's when our crazy time started. I couldn't go to the turkey derby. I said, but I went to my first one, and he had a little smile, just a little one. And he, got a little calm, and then his daughter's like, book some more. So I'm talking to him, I says, who do you think of Kyle Busch winning the championship, missing 11 races? And he just went like that. I said, Kevin Basic, Long Island Need for Speed, he's right, NASCAR's fixed. And he started laughing. He, like a laugh. And the rest of his night was calm. And then he went. He'll be missed. He got me going back to that place.
What do you mean, will be?
Yeah, he is missed.
He is missed.
He is missed. And it's going to be weird at the end of the night going to sit by your car, even in the beginning of the day, sitting by your car, getting out of the sun and sitting in the trailer.
I know.
And coming back and...
Smoking the cigarettes he shouldn't be smoking.
Yeah. But that he did it his way.
He certainly did.
He did it his way.
But he wanted to make this coming season. He wanted to make that desperately.
He had, I call it a bucket list for that last. He knew time was coming, and he had a bucket list. Unfortunately, he didn't get to play out his bucket list, but most of what he wanted to do, he did.
That's important.
He'll be looking down upon you in 2016.
Oh, well, I'll be talking to him occasionally.
Yeah, I'm sure. We all are.
I'll ask him how my mother's doing, how my dad's doing.
There you go.
Let's change the subject.
Absolutely. Anyway.
Let's talk about something we don't agree on.
Tire softener, maybe? No, we agreed on that.
Yeah, you want to bring that up?
Not really.
That issue still sucks.
Yeah, that was but at least now the truth came out, though.
Yeah. In which way? You mean in your book?
Yeah, well,
Your book with all the fictitious names?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and activities. Got another one.
That cost me a championship, too.
I know it did.
I think that was the reason.
That was part of the politics of the place at the time.
Yeah, there's politics no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Every racetrack has favorites. Every racetrack has politics. It's something you deal with.
Yeah, but you shouldn't control outcomes.
Who's to say that outcomes aren't controlled, even with the big guys?
Look at Kyle Busch. Come on. Finishing the top 30 will put you in the chase? Come on. Yeah, that's not good. It's not good. But anyway, like you said, about a good thing. The late model division looked like it had a resurgence in 2015.
It did. We had a nice car count.
Mm-hmm.
There are still guys out there who haven't come out and are getting ready to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we should be good, and you're going to have probably a few Charger cars mixed in there, at least the beginning, and see how it works out. And we'll take it from there. I mean, the division was getting stronger. It is an older division.
Mm-hmm.
There are still a bunch of young guys, relatively, but we have, a good handful of guys over 50.
Yeah.
And, included. And, they're going to be winding down.
Mm-hmm. And, when I look back, and I always, now that I've gone to so many racetracks across this country, not as an official, and I look at resurgence of the late models, a lot of new guys weren't coming into the late models. None of the kids they weren't coming from Chargers to late models.
They were
anymore.
going from go-karts to modifieds.
Exactly, and there was no feeder into the late models. With the elimination
Of the Chargers?
of the Chargers, how do you think 3 to 5 years down the road, what's going to feed into the late models?
Honestly, I don't know. It's going to if somebody likes the division, fenders versus non-fenders, that's going to make the difference. Go-karts are modifieds. Okay, they're little modifieds. The legend cars, there's not a big difference.
Right.
But as far as, yes, there's a huge difference, but there's not a big difference.
Right.
Look at guys like, Justin Bonsignor, even Kyle Soper. Last year in his modified for the first time, that kid was good. Right from the get-go.
Right out of the box.
There's some guys that will never be good, no matter what division and no matter how much money they put in. But that's beside the point. I think somebody just has to like a fendered car. I mean, other parts of the country, late models or pro stocks or whatever you want to call them, they're the division.
Yep.
They're that's the premier division. And it's not here, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah. And we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have an interview with Earl Paulus.
We
the
will?
Defending, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Defending modified and late model champion Mahoney Valley when we come back.
What's up, guys? We're Scared No Fair, and we're here with Inravio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
It's always been important to us to have music a part of our lives, part of our children's lives. At Village Music Shop, Bonnie and Chuck have not only made it possible for our kids to learn and understand and read music and enjoy playing a musical instrument, but they've also made it fun.
I really like coming here. I like coming to Village Music because everybody here is nice.
And they've inspired some creativity and imagination and taught them discipline. And along the way, they've gotten some self-confidence, really been like a part of our family.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Merch Weller. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you get punched in the But if you have this bracelet from Inravio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
And we're back.
Hey, look at that.
Earl Paulus, defending modified champion, as I said, and late model champion at Mahoney Valley Speedway. We had the opportunity to speak with him on one of our trips up there this fall. Here we go.
Here we are, Mahoney Valley Speedway, 505 on Racing Show. Walking around the pit area here at Mahoney Valley Speedway, and I happen to see Earl Paulus holding court over there with a couple of the guys. How are you doing today?
Good, we're doing good. This wind would stop, we've been doing a lot better, but at least it's not raining.
At least it's not raining. You can race in a windy day, it's rainy days that hurt.
That's right.
Here at Mahoney Valley, you've been pretty successful here. Tell us some of your successes here at Mahoney Valley.
Well, since Floyd took over, which the Santees are doing a hell of a job here, that's what makes me stay here. They're doing a really good job. It's fair, it's honest. They got rules. Got to obey by the rules. It doesn't matter who you are.
What does it take to win a championship in a track like this?
Oh my God, it's 35 laps. It's hard to say. You got to have a lot of patience, but then again, you can't have a lot of patience. You got to be able to, pull that trigger. We got a lot of young talent coming up. 19, 15-year-old in a modified. We got another street stock driver moving up into a modified next year. I love having them guys here because I just turned 50 in September, so these guys here, beating them means something to me because, they're 19, I'm 50, and we're still beating them, so we just need to continue to do that.
Now, you've been doing this a while, like I said, since 03. Now, as a racer, it costs a lot of money to go racing. You can't do it all by yourself. Who are some of the people that are helping you out?
Well, with being in business for myself, I got a trucking outfit, H&S Trucking, that puts up a lot of money. scrapyard because we're in the steel business, so he gets all my scrap. C. Spencer, you know, he's been with me for years. Bradco Systems, which is big air tanks that we actually help him with. So, you know, we work back and forth with my sponsors. Again, it all started when I started my business in '98. It's a lot of leverage you can use when you have that. You know, when you're just walking up to somebody, hey, you sponsor my car. Well, who are you? But when you're doing, you know, all your trucking and stuff for you, and you scrap it, one hand washes the other hand. So it's been really working out good for me that way. But, you know, if you love to do this, you always find the money somewhere to come here and do this, you know, weekly.
You know, it's one of those things, if you're having fun and you want to do it, you find a way.
Yeah, and this is a way of life for me, you know. You got work and racing, you know, and your family, and as long as you put food on the table, pretty much that's all I care about.
Food on the table, heat on, the lights are working, go racing.
That's it. Lazy Boy chair in a little camper is the Lazy Boy chair in $1 million house. It doesn't really matter to me.
There you go. Well, thank you for your time. Good luck tonight. Always a pleasure watching you race.
All right, thanks.
Joe Larson, 5 off, 5 on racing, Joe. You know, watching that interview, Roger turns to me and says, "There's no straightaway at that track."
There isn't.
It's
It
just
gets
one
dizzy there.
big circle. One big circle. And you're always on the gas. You're always on the gas there. You should try that place. Just once. I wish I could try it once.
Okay.
I really wish I could.
I tried Flemington once.
It's
Boy, did I suck there.
kind of similar, but not. I
No,
know
it's
that
not.
makes sense.
No, it's not similar.
Flemington was different.
Yes.
Definitely was like, I don't know, different.
My buddy Mark Tooker was very good at Flemington.
Was he?
Yeah, I was at that time. I was used to running for the, up front.
Right.
I was running for last. I was so far behind that I had nobody in front of me. It was like being in first, except they were all coming up behind me.
Again.
That place, no, thank you.
Yeah, I never raced there, but I worked a couple of events there, and when I saw the race, I was like, huh? It was different.
A couple of Riverhead guys were really good. Danny Turbish was good there too. Jerry Finn, who wasn't the greatest at Riverhead, but he could motor at Flemington. So
Riverhead's not an easy place to race, as you know.
it's easy.
Oh, stop. Come on.
Oh, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
What was I doing wrong? I thought it was hard.
You're still supposed to hit things too. No, Riverhead's fun.
Is it?
Yeah. As I said, I'm looking forward to the Granite State guys coming.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that event as well.
That should be fun.
I'm looking forward. In fact, you know, I plan on actually going to, I call it the new Riverhead Raceway in 2016, a lot more than I did last year. You know, I mean, your hospitality kept me coming back on the rare occasions that I did go. You fed me, you made sure I had something to drink.
We try to take care of anybody, our crew, family, friends.
They're all right.
That's part of it. You know,
Yeah.
it's a big family deal. You know, Riverhead, the whole pit area is like one big family.
It is.
A screwed up family, but one big family.
A little dysfunctional, but that's okay.
Little? Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the racetrack. That's people.
Oh, I know.
You can't fix stupid.
Oh, I didn't say they were stupid.
Some people are.
No, they're different.
Oh,
No, the people, and you'd find all good people, all well-meaning people there. And if somebody has an issue, they'll be the first ones there to help you out.
Yep. Oh, without a doubt. And I look back on when Brian Cisello was driving my figure 8 car, and he wrecked bad the second to last night of the season, and he was battling for Rookie of the Year, and the Safer organization win. That was a check, a nice check, and he wrecked, and I thought we were finished. I mean, the whole front and rear clip was no good. The guy he was competing for Rookie of the Year came and helped put it back together. Because I want to beat you on the racetrack, not this way.
A bunch of years ago, probably 2008, my car ended up on top of the back straight fence. That was the end of that particular car. So we had like 3 weeks left of the season. I was still running good. But Dave Brigatti lend me his car for 3 weeks. Now, Dave Brigatti and I never really saw eye to eye, but he offers me his car. and I took care of it, ran well with it. And
Yeah.
But again, guys that you probably wouldn't even talk to sometimes because you don't agree, when there's a problem, you help out.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I know Dave a long time. He's an intense competitor.
Really?
Very intense. More intense than you, I think.
I'm not intense.
Okay. And but when you need something, he's like one of the first guys there. You know? But that's, there's a lot of guys like that.
I mean, I get along great with most of the guys. I mean, Kevin Metzger and I get along fine.
Yeah.
I went after Kevin one night with a hammer, way back when he put me into the fence backwards and I destroyed my car, my new car. That wasn't a very smart thing of me, and here I enjoy the guy. He's a lot of fun to talk to. We park next to each other, talk, and he's a great guy.
He is.
And I felt bad. I still feel bad about chasing him with the hammer, but
It was the moment.
it was a bad moment.
I've had one or two of those.
Really?
Yeah, maybe 3 or 4.
I had a couple of those with officials. In fact, you were one of those
I think
officials.
that was one of them.
You
Yeah,
were.
Yeah,
You
it
were.
was. Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's all right. We learned from it.
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, speaking of learning from things, Bridgeport Speedway in New Jersey
Really?
announced a name change. The Speedway will be now known as the Spirit Auto Center Speedway for the 2016 season. A Spirit Auto Center of Sweetersboro, New Jersey, has entered into a
Wait a
marketing
second.
program.
Wait a second. Where'd I go? Oh, there I am.
There you are.
Okay, that's better.
Marketing program with Bridgeport Speedway to help promote the quarter-mile racetrack. Western New York's Ransomville Speedway announced it will run under the DIRT card sanctioning in 2016. And over in St. John's, PA, Evergreen Speedway opened its 2016 season with enduro racing. The 4-cylinder event went to Luke Colleran of Mountaintop, PA, while the 6/8-cylinder enduro event went to Long Islander Ed Brown Jr. Did you ever race an enduro?
No, but a couple of late model races felt like an enduro.
Felt like enduros, yeah.
We once raced for 45 minutes and went 3 laps.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so do I. That was the most embarrassing night.
3 laps, 45 minutes.
That was bad.
What do you think the average speed came out to be when they figured it out? 3 laps?
Negative.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
No, it wasn't.
As Gravel would say, that the cars on Carlton Avenue passing his house drive faster.
Yeah, that was a very bad night. But we've had good nights.
Yeah, awesome nights.
We've had some really good racing.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have more good racing.
Well, I'll tell you what, with the change in the rules and the demise of the charges and some charger guys going late model racing, the car counts are going to be back where, I think, in my opinion, where they used to be eventually. I don't think it's going to happen right out of the box.
You think we're going to start 22, 24 cars again?
I think 20 you'll see, maybe not in 2016. Because there's a lot of guys sitting, from what I talk to, they're doing I'm going to sit back and wait and see what happens. They're concerned with the rule package, they're concerned with the new
You can sit
ownership.
back, they've been sitting back waiting for something to happen for too long as it is now.
Exactly.
Come out while you can, and don't wait for, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Hey, tomorrow's not guaranteed.
Nope.
No, tomorrow's not guaranteed, and if you have it, it's just getting older, and it's just sitting, and use it. Use it while you got it. Use it while you can. You never know what tomorrow's going to bring, and you see that with a lot of guys that's just sitting on jack stands somewhere, or in backyards, which is even worse with the weeds growing through it. That's useless at a certain point. You might as well start over.
They do make good planters.
They do.
They really do.
I had one of those.
Do you?
Yeah, no more, but yeah, I had a planter race car. It looked good sitting there. And then I had to move it to the garage because the town was breaking my shoes. And then it was just in the way in the garage, so off it went for a song and a dance.
Oh, I thought you might take it to Gershaw.
No.
No.
The only car I took to Gershaw's was the one that I wrecked in '96. And
Oh.
I didn't take it to Gershaw. Gershaw wouldn't let me have it back. They took it to Gershaw. Joe and Peter Bertuccio.
The one where you did your leg in?
Yeah, yeah. It's funny, not that it's funny, but I was in the hospital, obviously, and I wanted to see the car. So Peter brought it to where we used to work on it. Peter Bertuccio brought it there. And I'm looking at it, I'm on crutches, and I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, wow. He goes, all right, you got enough? Yeah. He sucked it right back up, and he brought it. That thing disappeared after that. I think I got the steering wheel out of it before he drove away.
which was
Do you still have it?
the steering wheel,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Why don't you bring it in here? Steer this desk.
No, it can't bound because it's so mangled. It's like egg-shaped.
Yeah, I had one of those too.
Oh man, I can't believe it bent that way.
I destroyed a car at Thompson like that. In fact, it was the Beretta, and going down the back straight. This is the World Series in practice. Car was fast. Something broke in the right front going into turn one, and I hit the wall straight in.
Wow.
Full tilt. And I bent the steering wheel. It was like this. The sternum belt I had on here, I cut my chin on. That's how much I stretched.
Yeah.
As the car came to a stop eventually, I hear all this rattling, and so all my springs are rolling down the track.
Oh, gee, wow.
But that car is still out in Riverhead. It's still winning races.
Yeah.
Not mine, but it's still out there.
But you know, it's when we build these things, the way they're being built today, if you tear off or bend up the front clip or rear clip, you could reclip it. Years ago, it was tough to do that. It was tough to do that because it was a single frame and went to the junkyard, got a new chassis, and
No, race cars are built to be bent
yeah,
and straightened out and go back out there again. But they're mainly built to protect the guy that's in it, and so he can come back.
yeah. Now, you're getting up in age now.
Yeah, what do you mean getting them there?
You know, I remember when I thought guys like your age and my age were old. We're not old.
Yeah,
Well, you're a little bit older than me.
yeah, I am.
A little bit.
Yep.
Like maybe 4 years older. You're what, 62 now?
More.
No.
Yeah.
63?
Yeah.
All right, so 5 years older than me. All right.
It's just a number.
When did you start
A very
racing?
big number.
When did you start this?
1979.
79. That's 36 years ago.
Yep, it was started the year that Riverhead had been closed for 2 years, and they had to have a race or two to keep the permit alive. So they Tom Gallen, Ken Scow, they had the Grand Ams and the Bombers there, and I had a bomber car. I had an old figure-8 car, and it's a '56 Chevy. I had seen it out in the field, sitting there for years, and I bought it. Thought it was going to be really, God's gift to auto racing. Well, anyway, I wasn't, and they didn't have enough cars, so they ran the Grand Ams and these cars together. Peggy Smith was in the race, Paul McInerney. Let me tell you, a couple laps, and the breeze I was getting as they were going by me, I said, nah, this is not for me. I tried it a little bit longer in the next race, and I spun out, and a car hit me head on. Actually it was my friend Mark Tooker's brother. His frame was destroyed, this and that. I just restarted and drove away. I mean, there was no damage to my car, but after that, I got out of the car. I said, this is not for me. Pulled the motor out, cut it up, and sent it on its way. And then over the winter, I decided we're going to build a real car. Much to the dismay of my wife at the time. And from that point on, it was racing. And it took me 7 years to win my first race. Wow. I had one season where I finished second to Robin Vollmola so many times I couldn't count. But he just won everything in sight.
Oh, he was.
Yeah,
he went through a period that he was winning everything.
Oh, he's as I call him, he's my hero. I had two favorites when I was in the stands watching. He was one, and George Brunholzer Sr. And those were my guys. And anyway, I found out where Robin was working one time, and I went to talk to him like a stalker. And I got started, and that's what got me into this. Plus the fact that my parents started dragging me to the races when I was 7 every Saturday night. Wow. So, it was their fault.
Wow. And we're going to take a quick break. We missed our break, so we're going to take a quick break, and we come back. We'll have some more chat with late model standout Roger Roxy when we come back.
For For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris Dick, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
What's up, guys? We're Scano Fair, and we're here with Inravio. If they catch you at a show with one of these bracelets, you will win $100.
That's a lot of money.
So get a bracelet.
Do whatever it takes to get that. Hit them up online.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Hey, we're back. We are back. Just some of the things in the chat room. Yeah, 22 figure eight. It is January, so you know every January there are 20 or 25 figure eight cars that are going to be racing opening day. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad the figure eights are back.
It's time for Will to come back.
Yeah, but he should come back. But you know what? There's not a lot of new blood going into the figure eight division. It just isn't. There were no feeder. We talked about feeder divisions earlier, but they have this figure eight four-cylinder enduro thing, and they're hoping that gets some of these guys to want to go real figure eight racing. So we'll see. You ever race a figure eight car? I didn't think so.
No.
You should try it.
Nah, it's like I tried a modified once. That was enough.
You didn't like the modified?
Not when I hit the wall in the air, I didn't.
Wow. You hit, huh?
Yeah, I was driving one of Petruccio's cars, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Qualified it, got in the main. There was an accident in front of me, and I had to stop. I jammed the brakes on the car, spun around, and someone hit the left front, so I had to come in for another tire. Mm-hmm. So then I had to start in the back. I was up probably about 8th at the time. Started coming in, I was in the back, and I was trying to pass a back car, a back mark if you want to call it, mm-hmm. and tried him on the outside. He pulled up in front of me, tried the inside, got next to him, and I went over his left front wheel. Coming out of 2, crossed over his hood in the air and hit the wall in the air. I had my foot on the brake, but it didn't seem to slow the car down.
Air brakes, race cars.
And that kind of didn't scare me, it scared my wife. That was after winning the late model feature, I did that. That kind of ruined the night. And I gave the car back to Joey. I mean, he had to have the car. The car basically, I almost broke the thing in half. Mm-hmm. I said, I gave him, I brought my side view mirror with me. I said, you can have that. So here's the car back. Sorry. Sorry, I scratched it.
Before I forget, compliments to Long Island Need for Speed, Kevin Basic, and the 505 on Race Show. Kevin Basic put together a video that goes back to 1986, I believe, of some of your racing highlights. So
cool.
We want you to have this as a gift from our show. And,
I can show my kids what.
Yeah.
They can still see what I do now. But no, I'd like to see this. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it'd be good. So enjoy that. Compliments of Long Island Need for Speed and Inravio's 505 on Racing Show. But, you know, again, looking forward to 2016. Going to be like the farewell tour, so to speak. But looking back, what are some of the places other than Riverhead?
Farewell tour.
Well, all right. Well, we're going to have a little thing. We're going to have like paraphernalia, shirts, hats, buttons. No. We're just going to do it quietly.
No, well, my car is going to resemble what my Beretta looked like, at least graphic-wise and color-wise from the 90s. It's going to have some nostalgia on it, which I wanted to do. It's going to have a little bit of Tommy Ryan on it.
Yeah.
It's going to have a little bit of fun stuff on it, plus, the present sponsors, of which I couldn't do it without them.
Yeah.
And and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun trying to get back to the front. At least be, now that the car is fast again, hopefully it still is, and hopefully everything else still works, and we'll have some fun.
Who are some of the people that help you out? Because you couldn't do this all by yourself.
Todd Berger is probably one of the main reasons that I'm able to race, because he basically was the fabricator, painter, the mechanic, everything. And these guys that have helped me, like, Greg Kalila has helped a lot. Jared Hayes has helped a ton. He's gotten me back to where we were running good. Greg had gotten me back to where we were running good before this, and then went into a period where the car just wasn't working anymore. So, but anyway, without those guys, my crew, Kim Dezenkowski, Jeff Tuttle, Steve Hall is on my crew. Bruce Edwards is there too. Yeah. We have like an old home for old race car drivers. So Bill Roskamp's on the crew. We have a good time. We have a good time.
Yeah.
I have to listen about Bill's Charger career.
That's all right.
Every week. But that's okay.
That makes it fun.
Bill's wife Lee makes great brownies every week, so it's worth it. We have a good time.
And who are some of your sponsors that have been with you and coming back for 2016?
No, IGA has been with me for a long time. They're great. North Fork Sanitation is another one. Roy Shalin's family.
Roy Shalin, good people.
Roy
rest in peace.
Roy was the best, yes.
Yes, he was.
No, we have a bunch of good guys. Peconic Bay Auto Body, Riverhead Beverage, McBetts, Dennis at Oval Speed. Without Dennis, like everybody says, without Dennis, nobody races.
Yeah.
Just a good bunch of sponsors. We have Eastern Tire. We've got Magic Fountain in Mattatuck. That's going to be a good one this year.
Okay.
We're going to do some stuff. Plus, I'm going to have, looks like I might have a surprise sponsor for this last year. I'll know for sure in another month.
Okay.
But that'll be good. And it's good that the car is black for that, too. And there's one guy, Vinny Cardamone, and you know very well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Vinny came along and helped me out sponsor-wise, getting me great sponsors, helping me to, stay at the level I've been at. Without his help and the help of many others, wouldn't have happened.
Can't do it by yourself when you're racing.
No.
You just can't.
No, but like, again, Dennis, Oval Speed, Richie, Gottfried, McBetts, they're like brothers to me. And we're all good friends. And that's going to stay that way, even though once I'm done, I will not be able to go to Riverhead. If I go back there, I'll get sucked back in. So I'll have to do other things. I'll use my boat if it still floats.
Okay. All right.
You were going to ask me about where I've been?
Where are some of the places you're in as we wrap up?
Flemington, Wall Stadium. I love Wall. Hudson Speedway, New Hampshire. Thompson, love Thompson. Thompson's great. That is such a great place to race. Waterford, Riverhead, Islip.
Yeah.
I've been to a few places. Mahoney, not Mahoney, but Evergreen / Mountain Speedway.
Yeah.
I've gotten to a few.
Okay. Excellent. Nice. Hey, before we wrap up, just remind everybody that the Motorsports Race Car and Trade Show will be held this upcoming weekend.
Really?
At the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center.
Yeah, Dennis is going to be there.
Yeah. Sprint Cup Series driver Kyle Larson will be on hand Saturday at 1 p.m. Legendary NASCAR race car owner and engine builder Robert Yates will also be there Saturday as well. John and Jarrett Andretti will hold a Q&A session. John Andretti was the first racer ever to compete in the Indy 500 and Coca-Cola 600.
What's that?
And
oh, that's what that is.
And,
you need notes for this? Crib notes?
I did.
Oh, okay.
On the same day. And the list of racing stars to be in attendance scheduled to appear is endless. Long Island Need for Speed and Inravio's 505 on will also be there as a guest of Earl Krause. So looking forward to it.
Oh, freebie, huh?
Always.
Always.
We're treated like gold everywhere we go.
Gold.
Well, most of the places.
Gold or gold plate?
Gold.
Gold.
Solid.
Solid gold.
Solid. Anyway, Roger, I want to thank you for taking this trip down in a cold.
You mean it's over already?
But it goes fast when you're having fun.
We did 2 hours the last time. When is this short thing?
The Nielsen rating said an hour is enough. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for taking time out of your busy schedules to join in and spend some time with Roger Oxy and myself. And this weekend, if you're heading down to Motorsports,
See Dennis.
See Dennis from Oval Speed. He'll be there. Gene at ASI will be there. T.O. Chassis, Troya, you name it, they're all going to be there. It's going to snow. Be careful. Be safe. Whatever you're going to do this week, do it right, do it well, and do it safely. And remember, give somebody a hug. Tell them you love them. God bless you all, and thank you for watching tonight.
Have a
We'll
good
see you
night.
Monday.